Firefighters are battling flames threatening Cape Town, South Africa. Officials suspect a fire left by a homeless person may have been partially to blame for the massive blaze in Cape Town at around Table Mountain, as you can see here. At least 2 firefighters have been hurt, 9 structures destroyed. A historic windmill dating to 1796 was badly damaged, as well as heritage buildings at the University of Cape Town. Well, David Mackenzie is in Johannesburg with the latest. David, hi. What more can you tell us, and how is the city being threatened here?
Well, hey, Robin, it's very much an active situation. Very scary scenes developing in the early morning hours around Cape Town City. The wind at around 2 a.m., according to officials, picked up dramatically a southeasterly wind, which means the fire was ripped around the mountain towards the city of Cape Town. There are now firefighters, more than 250 of them, battling this blaze to try and stop it from getting into those buildings. Many people already in at least 1 or 2 neighborhoods near the city have been evacuated. Miraculously, no one has been seriously hurt at this point except for those firefighters. And the problem is, with these winds, officials say that it will be difficult to get those helicopters up in the morning hours this morning to battle that blaze. The city itself is shrouded in smog, haze from that fire, and it's the second day now of battling this fire that has really burnt a large section of that iconic Table Mountain.
And also some other iconic buildings and structures, particularly at the University of Cape Town. The impact on one of the library reading room, I think, has also been felt quite acutely by many people who went to UCT and know it. I think we've got an image of it as well. Explain to us what happened there.
Well, the fire started in the early morning hours on Sunday at around 8:45. It was believed to be from a fire that was left by a homeless person, as you described, then rapidly moved down the face of the mountain, burning through a restaurant, and then, to the shock of many current and former students, burning several buildings at the University of Cape Town. Now, it is incredible that they managed to get all those thousands of students out safely, and that's what people are saying should be the focus. But at the same time, there are potentially some very important works of history and literature that have been burnt in that library, though the good news coming out late last night was that a fire system put down shutters to protect at least part of that library. But this is still an active situation, and there are some very frightened people in Cape Town this morning who had to flee from their homes and their apartments with just a bag of belongings into shelters in the city. And those firefighters will be battling at least for today and possibly into tomorrow. Robin?
Okay, David, thanks so much for bringing us all the latest there. Really appreciate it. So I want to go straight now to Cape Town. Alan Winde is the Premier of the Western Cape. Alan, hi. Wonderful to see you again. Sorry it's in such sad circumstances. I just want you to give us the latest on what's happening right now. How fast are these fires moving?
Hi, Robin. Thank you. Yes, the wind came up in the middle of the night, and really what we thought we'd had under control by yesterday evening was flared up during the night, and as you've just heard, it sort of moved and started coming towards the city. We've just changed shift now, new firefighters up on the mountain, and yeah, it's pretty scary that the Frederick Hook area are being evacuated at the moment for safety reasons. And yeah, the winds are really, really strong, and that's what's fueling the fire at the moment.
And with these winds, can the helicopters, can the firefighters actually do their work?
So, of course, because of the mountain itself, it does make it much, much more difficult with the helicopters, because the wind buffets off the mountains and does make it quite dangerous. But they are busy trying at the moment.
Are you optimistic that you're going to be able to get this under control, or do you feel like Frederick Hook is just the beginning of what could be a terrifying day for folks around the City Bowl even? What are you warning for? What are you preparing for here?
So really what it is, it's about, I mean, it's not as if we haven't had fires on the mountain before. No. Our team's pretty good at dealing with it. So we're actually calling on people to be calm. The teams are getting ahead of it, evacuating areas that are at risk, asking people. And I mean, yesterday we were doing exactly the same thing. Nearly 4,000 students were evacuated from UCT And that's what's amazing about Cape Town, is the people just step up to the plate. So people have been bringing water and energy bars and eye drops for the firemen and women up on the mountain. And people have been opening their homes to students. It really has been amazing to see the people who step up and help us. And of course, now we still need to just remain calm, help those people that are evacuating the areas, and then just making sure that we're keeping them clear for the emergency vehicles and for the firefighting people to move in and do what they do best.
And how did these fires start? There's been reports that it was potentially a vagrant, a homeless person who started it, but also other reports of potentially arrests of people deliberately starting these fires in some places. What do you know?
Correct. I've actually got details on both. On one, a homeless person's fire that started it, and then also a couple of arrests and people spotted arsonists starting the fire. And of course, yesterday the investigation already started. I can't proclaim on it because I haven't got the details as yet, but both of those allegations being investigated at the moment.
Okay, keep us updated on that. And as you're talking, we've got these images of the iconic UCT library building, 200 years old, I think, is this building. The reading room destroyed. What more do we know about the condition of many of these historical heritage buildings in Cape Town?
So I think, as you heard earlier, one thing that was really great to hear was that the fire mitigation systems put in place. And so planning and preparedness was really key, because that saved a fair amount of, as you say, this is a 191-year-old university. The buildings on site at UCT are just under 100 years old. They were built in 1928. And of course, as you see, the library and a number of other buildings destroyed. But really, the real issue is the heritage of many of those really valuable library books that have gone up in flames. And then, of course, another heritage site across the freeway, the WINDMILL, that from 1796, the last really working windmill of that kind of age in our region. So hopefully we can restore it and get it back up again, but yeah, lots of damage.
There's not just the concern about fire, but at least from family members that I've been speaking to this morning in Cape Town, the smoke is particularly bad. Also the concern that a lot of the flames will jump ahead. How dry and hot and humid and the wind conditions make you concerned about the rest of the day?
So that is exactly what it's like here in the city. I mean, in my office where I am right now, you've got this heavy, pungent smell of smoke. There's ash sort of blowing all over the place, and there's this sort of smoky haze everywhere. That also, I think drives up the tension. And of course, it has been in the last while very dry, and we should have had rains already earlier this month, and the rains haven't come. And in the last few days, we've had dry, hot weather that really has dried out the sort of fynbos on the mountain, and that hasn't helped at all. And so, yeah, we should have had our rains already. It is dry, and then, of course, the wind is just fueling it.
Okay, well, good luck to all the firefighters who are now there on the front lines on Table Mountain. I'm going to leave you to do your work. You've got a busy day ahead of you. Alan Winde there, the Premier of the Western Cape. Great to see you again, sir. Thank you.